Welcome to the crack of dawn. It's me again. I'm wearing the same outfit. Oh, I just hit my microphone. Every time you do this, see, wrecks it. He always says, watch your hair, Dawn. I'm like, I know. So welcome to the crack of dawn. I'm so glad you're back. I'm wearing the same thing. We've got the Syracuse orange. Go Syracuse. I think they're playing Miami. I'm not sure. No. Actually, I invited myself down, and Amy was like, no. We're going to be in, where are they going to be? Georgia Tech? I don't even know. On my birthday, November 18th. I want to go. I'm dying. Don't watch a lot of football, though. But, you know, a little bit here and there. I know the Patriots won against the Bills. That was crazy. I mean, Air Force beat Navy, maybe? I went to a lot of Army-Navy games because I was over at West Point for a while. And all the girls at my school were there basically because their parents wanted them to marry a West Point military cadet. I don't have anybody in my family in the military. So when I was at Marymount, before I went to Boston University, I had no idea. All the girls were like, oh, we're going to West Point, we're gonna meet a cadet. And I was like, what's West Point? Like, I didn't realize it was like the most, like, highest place you could go. Not even military, like anywhere. Extremely hard to get into, extremely. I did not know that. And I wasn't chasing military guys at the time anyway, but I had no idea. So all these girls that I went to Marymount with, most of them, except for Kristen McCula, Kristen Hastings Silver, who owns a roofing company in Avon. So if you need a roof, they specialize in that. It's called Hastings Silver Construction. And yeah, anyway, she didn't either. She didn't marry a cadet. But we didn't know. If you're not from military, you wouldn't know. But it was like the highest thing. So what we did on the weekends is we would go to Army-Navy games. And they were so much fun. So crazy. So fun. And all my girlfriends were really pretty and stuff. So they ended up on the donkey and all the, you know, whatever. Wild. We had a good time. And then I said, I'm out of here. And I went to Boston University. And that was that. So here's what we're doing. We are doing kind of like an Iris Ron Beck, I think her name is. Again, a lot of people will say like, oh, she's not good. Well, of course she's good. It's fantastic. I paint a lot of pictures like this. A lot of people will say, oh, that looks like a 5-year-old did it. No, it doesn't. It's fun, it's whimsical, it's cute. If you notice the people, a lot of people say I can't draw people. It's a stick figure, for crying out loud. It's so far away that all you have to do is do a stick. You can't even see the legs. You just add the little clothes, and then look at the little snowflakes. It's so cute. I love it. So I did the background, and now this episode, we're gonna add some of the trees, maybe those like pointy Christmas trees. People say, oh, how do you draw a Christmas tree? I can't do it. You know what? Look at it. It's a triangle. It's not a big deal, okay? So we're gonna go slow, and all these white dots that you see flashing around, those will be last, okay? Because those are on top of the whole scene. Okay, so we're just gonna have fun here, and we're gonna go around, and I'm so glad. Thank you for having me here for 20 years at Nutmeg TV. Everybody's so great to me, and I'm having some surgery soon. I actually can't wait. I'd love people to cut me open, actually. Nobody wants to. They just want all your money, and they want to say, oh, we're gonna do this, this, and that, but you know, we can't do that yet until we basically drain your bank account. So I'm really looking forward to, if you're a surgeon and you're watching this show, I've been dealing with so much pain. I can't even believe I went to work today. I called my sister on the way to work sobbing, and she was like, Dawn. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't. I mean, I don't know what to do. Like, you'd think I'm a really happy person, but you should see me when I'm not on the air. It's pathetic. It's pretty bad. I've been dealing with back pain for a long time. I want someone to cut me open, and nobody does that anymore. They just inject you with, you know, things, steroids, all sorts of stuff that is kind of like a Percocet, really. So you either do pills or you get the shots. I do a little bit of both, but I prefer the shots. But if anybody out there is a surgeon, please, I'm your guinea pig. Cut me open. It's right in the same place. It's so easy. Just cut it open, look around, and sometimes I say to myself, even if I end up in a wheelchair out of it all, and God bless anybody in a wheelchair, but I was in one for a year after a ski accident. So not looking forward to it, but I really, really, if you're a surgeon and you're not afraid of me, call me, because I'm dying. I can't stand it. It's a disaster. So just saying, anybody else out there that has health issues, like, it's awful. I can't even believe I do it every day. I can't believe I'm in the profession that I do and working with little kids. Today, I was sobbing on the way to work. I called my sister, and she was like, Dawn, how do you do it? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So if you are a surgeon, please put your time in me, because you are my best friend. I can't find anybody to help me. So I'm at Beth Israel in Boston, because I can't find any relief here in Connecticut. I'm paying out of pocket. So you can tell I'm pretty much in despair. So I'm going to Beth Israel and New England Baptist Hospital. And I've got these fantastic surgeons only because I know people that have a lot of money. Sad, but true. So normal people that are just don't know people with a lot of money just get stuck what they're stuck with. And, you know, I'm not going to tell you where I have these connections from, but I mean, it's true. I get these surgeons from Boston because I know people with a lot of money. And, you know, it's just sad. Like, it really is, because, like, what if I didn't? So God bless you all. For anybody that's dealing with pain, I get your pain. I don't want to be a pill popper. I never have been. But it's hard, so I get it. Back to the painting. Woo! Okay, so we're going to do this. Plus, we have 3 episodes, so I'm slowing it down. What I'm going to do is I think I'm going to add the trees next, and I think I'm going to put these Christmas trees in, okay? Because they're kind of in the background, and they're just green, so you just want to get out some green, and I don't have all my colors. Remember, blue and yellow makes green. So the kids today were saying, I don't have any green. And I said, well, blue and yellow makes green. Now, if you have green, just use it right out of the thing. But if you don't, you got to make the green. So I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I wish I didn't, but I'm going to try this little tube here. And remember, when you do go and buy paints, buy all the colors. Because some people, you know, I mean, if you really want to get good at art, what you want to do is you want to start with as few colors as you can. And primary colors like red, blue, oh gosh, I can't even find any green, so I'm going to have to make my own. If I have no yellow, we're out of luck. We're just going to have to do no Christmas trees. And it doesn't have to be a Christmas painting. But again, if you want to be really good at painting, red, yellow, and blue are your primary colors. And from red, yellow, and blue, you can mix those 3 and make 3 more. So red and blue makes purple, so that's 1. Red and yellow make orange, so that's 2. And then blue and yellow make green. So now you have 6 colors. So just from those primary colors, you can make 6. I'm making my own green. I don't want to, but I'm doing it. Okay? So I'm doing some yellow here, and I'm going to mix it with some blue, and it's going to turn green. And you can see. Sorry. Just turn green. Don't worry if it's not the perfect color green. I'm adding a little brown in here to make it like a more natural green. Okay? And remember, Christmas trees are pine trees. They are triangles. Okay? With lack of a better word, it's a triangle. So I'm going to put in this triangle Christmas tree. It's going to be like a Christmas scene. And we're going to give it to Rich with his new daughter-in-law. Oh, it's so exciting. Yeah. My daughter's been dating her boyfriend for like 2 years now. It's a long time. My son, no, I don't think. I don't care. I always say don't rush it. And my high school reunion, as I said, I'm going in on Friday. Lila is coming in from Nashville. She's like, Dawn, what are you doing? And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, it's our high school reunion. I said, we just had one. She goes, well, we're having another one. I'm flying in, and I'm staying with you. And you know what? It's a good thing it's Lila, because my husband does not like guests. Lila, you'll be fine. Don't worry. Lila is very fun. And another friend of mine who Tony doesn't mind coming is Rachel. And these 2 girls, like, say Tony's building a deck. Like, they're not the type of girls that are like, oh, I need a lawn chair and a drink. I need to sit and watch you build the deck. These 2 girls will be like, give me a board. Tone, what do you need help with? I'll help you build it. So very different than me. So those girls are good to have, especially around my husband, because he doesn't really like, I don't know. I wouldn't say he doesn't like people, but kind of quiet and kind of an introvert. So I get it. And I kind of like being married to somebody like that. I mean, sometimes it drives you crazy because you're like, oh, honey, we've been invited to a wedding. And they're like, ugh. And I'm like, oh my God, don't you want to do anything with us? And yeah, you know, I mean, I guess that's why I married him. And then everybody gets divorced. And then they wonder, oh, I can't believe he's like this. It's like, well, I suppose if you didn't know that about him, that's one thing. Or I suppose if someone cheats on you, I mean, what are you going to do? But no, I've never been like that. Never. My sister and I are not like that. Our parents are 80. They've been married 60 years. We're not into the cheating thing. But some people are. It's fine. I don't mind. But that would probably, you know, might make me a little bit mad, having the husband jumping around all over the place. But, you know, I mean, I kind of got a quiet guy, and I'm good with it. Plus, if I want to go out after I film tonight, like I might meet Mary Sue because she just had her hair done, and she's like, I want to show off my hair. You've seen Mary Sue on the show. She's like, I want to show off my hair. Now, I don't have to worry about checking in with my husband. I don't have to say, hey, Tony, do you mind if I... What do you mean, do you mind? I'm doing it. Mind if I do what? I'm not doing anything with any men. I'm going to meet Mary Sue. We're going to look at her hair, and we're going to show it off. That's it. So a lot of people have those jealous types. Yeah, no, we don't do that. Forget it. It's not worth it. Okay, I'm putting these trees. This is kind of looking cute. I've got to show you. Oh, so cute. Oh, I love it. And we're going to go slow because we have a whole nother episode. And this is actually going to be good. Sometimes people watch my show and they're like, oh, kidding me. She's a painter? I'm like, yeah. I know exactly what I'm doing. Plus, we're having fun on this show. I want to reach out to other people at this Nutmeg TV because, like Joni, I think she owns the place. I love Joni. Joni, thanks so much. I try to make it fun and exciting because Joni's great. We have, oh my gosh, I always forget her name. I call her something every time, so I'm not even going to try. But, oh, I'm going to put the fence in. So watch. If the fence is going here, it's going to be bigger coming towards me. All the fence things straight. Whoops. Straight. And they're going to get smaller as they go into the distance, okay? I'm going to add another one here. This one winds around, okay? Bigger as it comes towards me. Notice how my sketch is a little off too, and I don't care, okay? Bigger as you're coming forth. We can do those later, okay? Totally looking great. Isn't it gorgeous? We're going to add these little stick figures later, these little people in the background. But I want this to be a very whimsical painting. I mean, this is something that you could use for your Christmas card, something really fun. You could do a painting like this now, and then you could take a picture of it and go to CVS and have, like, you know, Happy Holidays written across the front, Merry Christmas, whatever you want to do. And then all of a sudden on the back, you write artwork done by, you know, Rich Canestranza. You know, and then it's yours, and it's gorgeous. Now, I'm going to put a couple more trees in here. These trees are different than pine trees. I'm going to put these trees. You can see them. See, it's like a fork right here. Okay? I just taught this today. We had a great time today. I'm happy with Hartford, I have to say. I really am. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess this is going to go here. Okay? Make sure your tree's straight. I mean, the only trees that kind of go the other way are like palm trees, okay? And this is looking great. Rich, this is gonna be good. He's gonna like it. And, you know, brown, black, whatever you wanna use. I was teaching the kids how to paint today. We had such a ball. The other thing is when you have, you know, sometimes people say to me, how do you paint with these kids, these Hartford kids, these Farmington kids, whoever the kids are, how do you do it? And I say, I know, a lot of people would just stick with coloring, especially with the behavioral stuff you have these days. You know, it's a pain. It's not fun to be a teacher anymore. It's not. It's very hard. So any teachers that are watching, please come on my show. I would love to have you. Again, I was trying to get my kid to do, he goes to Central. I'm like, James, Central is like the teaching school. Plus, it's so cheap. He goes, nah, I don't want to be a teacher. I'm like, what about a gym teacher? Like, you know, I could just wake up and do this shot of perfume and just wake up and go. Now, with all due respect to my gym teachers, because they're two of my best friends, I absolutely love them. Blake Campbell, B-Cam is his rap name, just in case you want to look him up. He's like 6'9", big, huge guy. Love him. And it was so funny because he was absent the other day, and one of my African-American custodians was like, "Where's Balake at?" I almost died. I said, "What did you say?" He goes, "Where's Balake at?" And it's a joke if you haven't seen the skit, but it's hilarious. I couldn't even believe it. So again, like, we can all have fun and not be crazy over the race thing. It doesn't even matter. It's hilarious. I get along with everybody I work with. It's just people have problems sometimes with like working with different ethnicities or whatever. And again, like I was saying to my dad, like, how could you not like Jewish people? That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like they were almost wiped out and now we got to do it again. So like, just drives me crazy, which is one of the reasons why I just don't do politics. Because I couldn't deal with that. I wouldn't want to be in charge of that. I couldn't. So again, trees are like roads. So when I teach trees today, I said, just act like you're driving a car. I can't do it. I'm like, yeah, you can. There's no leaves involved, okay? And remember, your trunk doesn't have branches. So just put them there, okay? And I've never really done a painting like this in 3 times. I hope we can do 3 episodes. We're gonna try. I love it here. I love it. You should see all the great people here. So if you ever want to go into film, and remember, you do have to do some volunteer work before you can, you know, really get anything. I did tons of volunteer work before I made it with my job. I mean, tons. So remember, if you ever want to be a cameraman down here, I mean, we just hired that girl. We have 10 minutes. It's a ton of time. Can you even believe it? I can't even believe it. It's great. So again, my daughter actually, if you look her up, she's Nettie. She's kind of famous now. Like, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't. Hey, if you're watching TikTok and all those things, you'd probably say she's not famous at all. But I can actually Google her name, and it comes up. It's not Wikipedia, but I can actually Google Nettie. I don't even have to write her last name. I just Google in Nettie, and I get her crazy makeup. And I worry about her because, well, I don't really. She'll do fine. But it's sort of like when my dad said, I said, "Dad, I'm going to be a painter." And he was like, "What? What do you mean you're going to be a painter?" I'm like, "Dad, I'm going to be a painter." And he's like, you know how hard that is to say you're going to be a painter and sell your work and just do it? And I was like, "Oh, you don't have any faith in me," kind of thing. You're a kid, you're a teenager. You're like, "Oh, Dad, I can't believe it." But he was right. You know, I do fine on the side as an artist. And maybe I would do fine if I wasn't a teacher. Maybe it would make me work harder. But my dad was kind of right. He was like, "You know what? Do your art on the side, and then you don't have to worry about if the you know, economy's bad or whatever. You still have your teaching job." And so that's what I did. And so I was glad I did that. So now I'm trying to see if my son would want to be a gym teacher. Because I'm like, "James," but you know, with all due respect to the gym teachers, that's a lot of physical stuff. So when you're dealing with like inner city kids like we are, physical contact can be a big deal. You know, just one little shove. You know, you're playing basketball and one kid just knocks you the wrong way. They do it in art. "Oh, he hit me. Oh my God, what am I going to do?" And, you know, sometimes the way they're brought up, they just go at it. It's like crazy. But, you know, with all due respect to the gym teachers, it can be very difficult. And I'm not really good at that sports and stuff, so I don't know if I could do it. But add a few trees around, and I think he said 10 minutes. It's going to be 5 in like a second. And I think by the time we do the second episode, we'll be like perfect. And this will be a really cute, I mean, I kind of want it, but I'm giving it to Rich's. Yeah. Rich, I was so happy for Rich because he was like, you know, we had a wedding, and I'm like, oh, I just can't wait till my kids get married. And I mean, the time flies. I don't really want to get old. Definitely don't want to die. And again, if you're watching, back surgeons, please, just cut me open. I'm not worried. Literally, at this point, it sounds awful, but, you know, I don't mind. As long as you don't kill me, I don't mind if I don't walk again. I really don't. It sounds awful because I've had that. I've been in a wheelchair. Only for a year though. It wasn't permanent, but like that's how bad my pain is. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Like this morning, I couldn't believe I actually went to work. I couldn't believe it. And anybody listening that does this kind of stuff, like pain management and stuff, I actually was in the emergency room Friday night and Saturday night. Isn't that crazy? I couldn't stand the pain. We got 5 minutes. So what I did is I had my son drive me to Yukon. That's where I had my daughter. And they were like, oh, there's nobody here, nobody in the ER, just come right in, check in. Well, nobody was there all right except me. And I couldn't stand the pain. I needed that like Dilutin stuff that Mary Sue likes. I'm like, I need that Dilutin, whatever it was. And so I was in the ER. Nobody was there, nobody but me. It seemed like it anyway. And waiting and waiting. And I wasn't mean. My son kept saying, Mom, don't be rude, don't be rude. Don't make a scene. I'm like, I'm not going to make a scene, but I'm in a lot of pain. So what I did is I grabbed the pen. I said, James, give me my bag and get me a piece of paper. And I wrote on the paper, thank you so much, but I can't wait. Have a good night. And I left it on the hospital bed and we walked out. Now, I had the armband already around me with my name. So just for walking into the ER, you can be charged like, I think it's $400 just for walking in. So I might be charged $400 even though I got a bed and nobody saw me and I walked out. So the next night, agony again. And I mean, I'm telling you, I have a pretty good pain tolerance. Well, not really, but. So I went to New Britain Hospital. I said, James, we're not going back to Yukon. We're going to New Britain. Nothing to knock Yukon because it was just a bad night, not their fault. But we went to New Britain Hospital and oh my gosh. Dr. Faith was his name, Colin Faith. Thank you. If you're watching this, I don't know where you live, but it could be one of the towns we live in. He and the nurse, I mean, fantastic. I walked in. My son said, Mom, this hospital isn't as clean as Yukon. I said, I know. I noticed that right away. But you know what? It's like Farmington High School. We're getting a new building. It's not a big deal. They treated me like when I walked in, I had a nurse with a smile on her face. Yukon, And you know, that was just one day. But this girl had a smile on her face. She was nice. You know, if you're going to go into healthcare, at least care. My God. And so from the minute I walked in, I just knew. And I thank people. I already wrote the thank you cards. Dr. Faith got a card. The hospital staff got a card. The nurse got a card with a stamp. I'm not talking an email. I sent thank you cards to everybody because that is what people need these days. Nobody writes a card anymore. Nobody thanks anybody. I mean, I was like dying, and I would never, ever go into healthcare. I can't even imagine taking care of somebody. Can't even imagine. We have 2 minutes left. Can you believe it? We'll do a whole nother episode. We'll add the people. So I have to say thank you to New Britain Hospital. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You treated me like gold. I don't care if your biohazard thing was filled to the top. Didn't bother me at all. They hooked me up with the IV. I have very good veins. Very good. It might be because I'm thin, but I don't know. I could never put a needle in someone's arm and couldn't do it. So my son was with me and I was like, James, do you think you could do this? And he's like, ugh, Mom, I don't know. And I'm like, well, I said to the nurse, he was a man. I said, how old are you? He said, 24. I said, you just graduated? He goes, yeah. I go, you got a job easily out of school? Easy. He said, easy. I go, is it awful taking blood and putting stuff in needles and stuff? And he goes, yeah, you get used to it. Now me, I could never, ever do that. But again, God bless all the nurses and doctors that took care of me that night and takes care of everybody, because I really think that a lot of people go into medicine because of the money, and there's still people that go into it because they care about you. So thank you so much, because I thought I was going to die. And this morning I thought I was going to die. But I can't keep checking into the ER. I wish I lived there. And I love you, Tony, but my next husband, if I ever have one, will be a orthopedic surgeon. Sorry, Tony. Okay, thanks for tuning in. We had a ball. I love you, Tone. I love everybody. And thank you. If you're really willing to cut me open, I'm into it. So I'll see you next time on the Crack of Dawn. I'm going to be wearing the same thing. Go orange. Here's what it looks like. Beautiful. Okay? Very whimsical, very cute, but wait till I add the people and some more Christmas stuff, because this is going to be kind of like a Christmas scene. Okay? So I'll see you next time on the Crack of Dawn. Bye-bye. Woo!
Nick Augustino right here at the East Side Restaurant. We always have the complete full dinner menu. Knockwurst, bratwurst, sauerbraten, potato pancakes, red cabbage, rice pudding, cream pies, all the desserts that Germany had to offer. I always do something different. Yes, I do. I brought seafood to the beer garden at the East Side Restaurant. East Side Restaurant, your German destination restaurant in Connecticut. Tiki-taka, tiki-taka, hoi, hoi, hoi!
I'm your host, Kurt Barwis. Today, I have a very special guest, Dr. Andrew Lin.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Veterans Corner. My name is Chuck Wooden.
Decision for ourselves for this week, if we want to be made well.
Hi, welcome to the Crack of Dawn. It's Dawn Lombardi. I'm starting the painting. It's going to be the clips with some water. Love it.
He took me on the sets of Lost in Space, Batman.
Everybody has a story. What's yours? Until next time,